Excellency the President, Honorable Prime Minister of Grenada, Ministers assembled here, Lady Bentamo Amatune, founder and CEO of GUBA Enterprise, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know I was supposed to make some remarks tonight because I think I spoke whatever I wanted to say this afternoon. But she whispered into my ears that you're making remarks tonight. And I know there was a collusion between my office, my chief of staff, and her. So as soon as he mentioned, I saw that there was a folder coming up there. Which means they have written something for me. It is with great pleasure and a sense of honor that I join you tonight for the GUBA 25 Awards being held for the first time on the proud soil of Barbados. This is a truly historic moment, a physical manifestation of a reunion long overdue. As we gather for the 16th edition of GUBA Awards hosted here in the heart of the Caribbean for the first time, we are not merely attending a ceremony or an event, we are fulfilling a mission. Reclaiming our Atlantic destiny, connect, build, and renew. We have thus gathered under a powerful and purposeful theme, which is not merely a catchy phrase, but our collective mission and our guiding principle for the future. It speaks to a shared presence of opportunity, and a shared future of prosperity that we must actively create together. Lady Dentire and her associates, we are sincerely grateful for your laudable initiative that has brought us together for this milestone event. To the nominees who did not win any awards at all today, I wish you better luck next time. To the awardees, let your achievements in global recognition inspire you to greater endeavors and greater heights. I have been requested to make a few remarks on the power of African diaspora at tonight's function. The Atlantic has for so long been viewed as a divide, a powerful reminder of separation. But today, we see it as a bridge, a waterway that carried our ancestors through and brought us to this moment of powerful reconnection. We are here to reignite a bridge. As some have eloquently put it, it is transforming historical ties into tangible modern partnerships. The components of our theme are three clear imperatives: connect, build, and renew, which I spoke about this afternoon. Let's first recognize that the term the African diaspora generally refers to the mass dispersal of people from the African continent to other parts of the world. In its scope, the term includes both involuntary or forced migration caused primarily by the transatlantic slave trade, but also the trans-Saharan and Indian Ocean slave trades, and voluntary modern-day migration for economic, political, or social reasons. In short, the African diaspora includes all global communities that descended from Africa since the 15th century, through voluntary and involuntary migrations. The term emphasizes a connection to the African continent, shared ancestry, and potential or emotional link to the mother continent. Cumulatively, by our calculation, we are talking about 350 million people, which translates into the third largest country in the world after China and India. if they were all to be considered as living in one country. At this juncture, let me point out that the African Union had long realized the power and the potential of the African diaspora. That is why, in pursuit of the grand vision of African unity, the Continental Organization amended its Constitutive Act in 2006 to include the African diaspora in the sixth region of the continent, in addition to Central, Eastern, Northern, Southern, and Western regions of Africa. The Constitutive Act defines the African diaspora to include people of African origin living outside the continent, irrespective of their citizenship and nationality, and who are willing to contribute to the development of the continent, the building of the African Union. The power of the African diaspora resides in its multifaceted roles through global influences, driving economic growth through remittance and investments, fostering cultural exchange and playing a significant role in political movements and social development. This power is derived from the collective economic support, the innovation and knowledge sharing of millions of people, transforming both African countries and the diaspora host nations. It is an incontrovertible fact that the African diaspora sends billions of dollars in remittances to their home countries, often surpassing foreign aid and foreign direct investments. By one estimate, as much as $65 billion is sent annually through such remittances. These gifts to family are dispersed and uncoordinated, and therefore may have limited impact in terms of development. Moreover, the African diaspora increasingly investing in African businesses, real estate and infrastructure, particularly in sectors like fintech and agriculture, thereby promoting jobs and economic growth. Knowledge and technology, by bringing back skills and knowledge gained from global industries, diaspora members are uniquely positioned to help develop solutions to African problems. They also provide mentorship and technical training to local entrepreneurs and professionals, helping to find a new generation of innovators. Diasporans entrepreneurs often establish businesses that bring international opportunities to African markets. We all recognize that people-to-people connections are the foundations of business relationships. The African diaspora around the world have unique insights, market intelligence, spending power as consumers that can act as catalysts for market expansion for African business seeking partnerships. In this connection, it is important to stress that the operationalization of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, whose Secretariat Ghana proudly hosts, is expected to create more intra-African trade and enormous opportunities for more business ventures between Africa and African diaspora and the rest of the world. The diaspora acts as a bridge between cultures, promoting African arts, music, food, fashion, and other creative industries worldwide. Through such channels, the diaspora serve as cultural ambassadors promoting African culture. They also serve as a vital cultural link promoting African heritage and narrative. It is time for us to tell our own stories and teach our own history and stop relying on the Western eccentric narratives that have over the years distorted our history and image. We should also be frank to admit that while it is true that the African diaspora have imposed themselves, whether in the field of music, gospel, dancehall, jazz, blues, calypso, reggae, and zouk, the creative industries and sports, in most cases, the companies behind are not African diaspora owned, and we need to address that change and change that. The African diaspora have been quite influential in civil rights movements, decolonization and movements like the Black Lives Matter in countries like the US, the United Kingdom, and the Caribbean. Some governments are increasingly engaging diaspora by facilitating voting abroad and creating institutions to address diaspora concerns. In my own country, Ghana, the Office of the Diaspora Affairs is located in the Office of the President, a testament to the important government attachment to matters pertaining to the diaspora. The diaspora also acts as a global advocate for social justice and political change, influencing policy and public discourse in both their countries of residence and the African continent, thereby helping to break the gap between continents, sharing best practices and creating collaborative opportunities for growth. A current typical example is the African Caribbean clarion call for reparations to be paid to the two regions by the former colonial powers to atone for their sins perpetrated against the people of African descent. As through a combination of economical, social, and political influence, the diaspora can be a powerful force for positive and sustainable change across the African continent. The diaspora is essentially crucial in shifting the global narrative about Africa from one of dependence to one of opportunity, partnerships, and strength. The list of nominations and awardees tonight evidently shows that there is much excellence and expertise in Africa and its diaspora. While the African diaspora may have developed their unique cultures and identities in the present locations where they find themselves, they still share a common ancestry of African heritage. There is beauty in diversity, but there is also strength in unity. As Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of Ghana, rightly observed, the forces that unite us are intrinsic and greater than the superimposed influences that keep us apart. Let's stay together and redouble our efforts to connect, build and renew our relationships, and we shall reap the rich dividend of prospering and thriving together. Our destiny is ours to claim. Let us renew our unwavering dedication and our commitment to a future where a united Africa and its diaspora can stand together and speak with one voice on the global scale. I wish you a blissful night.
Becoming the phone.